Hello, and welcome to Navigating Turbulent Times with NIPIGON, a place where we answer your questions about the Corps, cadets in general, and ourselves. My name is Lieutenant Navy Laura Hood, and I'm the Unit Training Officer and your host. I'm staying home to talk to cadets, staff, and special guests about their cadet experience. Tune in weekly for updates as we navigate these waters together. Welcome to another episode of Navigating Turbulent Times with NIPIGON. This week, I am very pleased to be joined by a former cadet. So Deidre was a cadet with 341 NIPIGON from 2005 to 2009 before moving to Ontario. She later completed her cadet career at 281 Whitby in Ontario as a chief petty officer second class. While at 341 NIPIGON, she was a valued member of the unit's drill team and one of our first ever band members. So I'd like to thank you for joining us this week.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Happy to help.
I'm wondering if you might be able to give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Yeah, of course. Hey everybody, my name is Deidre Jackson, and I was with 341 NIPIGON from 2005 to 2009. I currently live in Halifax, Nova Scotia with my husband and two puppies, and yeah.
Thank you. What can you tell us about your time as a cadet at 341 NIPIGON?
Yeah, my time with NIPIGON was, a very important part of my youth, as I think it is for a lot of people who join at such a young age. I joined when I was 12 and was there from until I was 16 with NIPIGON. It's such like a pivotal point in your life, and it takes up a lot of time. But I was there for about 4 years, and it was a really great experience. It provided me with a lot of skills that I'd use in my personal and professional life now, motivating myself and being organized, and it gave me a lot of friendships, I think, that were super important growing up. So it was a wonderful experience, and I got to be a part of the band and part of the drill team and participate in all the fundraisers and the Corps trips and all the memories that come with that.
Shining your boots outside the gym the night before Trafalgar.
Yeah, that's nice. Sleeping on a gymnasium floor, basically not sleeping a wink because you're so nervous about the next day. There's lots of just really wonderful memories. I have nothing but fond memories of that time.
So you mentioned you're a member of the band, and I said you were one of our first band members, because when you started as a cadet at 341, we did not have a band. I remember our first ACR, there was like an air cadet. The air cadet band came and played. We didn't have one. So what was that like, kind of helping to form the band and being one of the first members?
Yeah, I think I was actually thinking about this today, and it's kind of surreal now, especially when you mention that there's between 15 to 17 members. It was just 4 people with, I'll use the term, gently used equipment. And we had a lot of parental help that came in and helped us out. And we had people from different trades coming out to help give us the skills to be able to, form a core band. And it was really different from when I first started to the end of it. I think our first ACR, we got the Cock of the Walk award because we had, we worked really hard to try and put something together, and it was a really great experience, I think, to be part of one of the first members to do that, and to and just to be a part of it was really great. And it really feels like it's come full circle now, especially since they've gone to competition and stuff. It's really wonderful to hear.
Do you remember getting the band sash by chance?
Yeah,
we still have the same
one. Like one of the best memories I had, and I remember just like waiting for it and waiting for it and waiting for it, and when I finally got it, I was like, I'm never taking this off. This is part of me now. But unfortunately, we
still use the same one. Like, it's the same. So every drum major has worn it. We have the same sash, and it was like, where did this come from? Like, why is it like this? And so it's a good piece of Corps history.
I remember when we first got it, there was like nothing on it, just the sash part of it, and I was like, I'm still wearing it. It doesn't matter. it's just yeah, it was one of the greatest moments ever in cadet history.
Yeah. So you were a musician at the Corps. You also took music during your summer training. What was that like? What was it like training as a musician?
It was honestly like an awesome experience. I joined a little bit later, so I didn't get to do general training and kind of experience all the other trades. Well, that was called general training at the time. Oh, well, good to know. I think I joined a little bit later, so I just dove right into the music trade. And I remember my first summer being, you know, a little bit homesick at first. It was just a new experience. But then, you know, you quickly make friends and, you know, you start to learn music, and there's really no other program like this in Canada where you can, you know, learn music in such kind of an intensive way for 3 or 6 weeks and be around a bunch of people and your friends and, you know, them kind of all going through the same experiences. It was really awesome. By the time I, you know, reached TG3, I was going back, you know, we're meeting up with the same people we've been, you know, in camp with since TG1, and we're all kind of, that was one of the best years, I think, for cadet camp, even though it was the toughest, like musically speaking. It was just the best, I think, because we were learning, you know, cool songs, and, you know, at the time it was Holla Back Girl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just overall a really great experience, and I highly recommend it to anybody who gets the opportunity.
So if the cadets watching, I guess, too, when we talk about like TG1, 2, and 3, it's now called basic, intermediate, and advanced music. A lot of the courses, they're similar, very, very similar, just the kind of the labeling has changed, and the naming as well. So when we're talking about that, that's what we mean.
I use old terms.
Well, yeah, and it's fine. Like I still refer to, I remember in TG2, they're like, it's intermediate now. It's like, right. So you're not alone. You're not alone.
Teaching an old dog new tricks. That's all.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you have a piece of advice you could share to either our current band cadets, those thinking about maybe taking the plunge and joining the band, or for cadets in general.
Yeah, I think for anybody that's a big music lover or wants the opportunity to learn an instrument or just to, you know, learn how to read music, definitely take advantage of at least being involved in the Corps band. I guarantee people are going to be super welcoming. They're going to teach you whatever they can. They're going to be able to help you out, you know, with anything that you're interested in doing. Definitely try and get involved, I think. And it's one of those things that even if you don't, you know, stick with it or whatever, it's just one of those things that, one of those really great skills that can kind of lead you through to your adult life too. Like you can, you know, if you learn, you know, if it's not just Glock and drum anymore, you can play the keyboard, you know, it's just a really, really great skill. And I think that it's important to try and get involved and to stick with this kind of stuff. And yeah, I think it's definitely worth trying.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I had a question come in on our Instagram page. So I try to put up a picture of the podcast we'll be filming in the future for the senior cadets to view and to submit any questions. And I put a picture up, and it's the two of us after an ACR, and we have the big qualified petty officer first class ranks on.
Oh yeah, the
Probably didn't know what that rank was because it doesn't exist anymore because we were the last two in the unit to wear it. And they asked me why we wore them. So do you remember studying for the P1 exam?
I certainly do. I remember it being very intense and very stressed out and just trying to cram as much knowledge as we could kind of in our brain. And I do remember that. That was an awesome experience.
So what used to happen, doesn't happen anymore, what used to happen is all the Sea Cadets in New Brunswick would come together one weekend a year, and we would be put through the paces. We had to instruct a drill lesson, a classroom lesson. We had to do a march pass. We had to call a march pass and march one. We were tested on marksmanship and seamanship skills, and it was like all your exams in high school smushed into one concentrated weekend. So you used to have to do that exam to be promoted to petty officer first class. Now they just go from petty officer second class to petty officer first class, no exam. So the classes are only taught at the core level. So a bit different.
Yeah. They definitely put us through the ringer, I think.
Remember like practicing bows and calls forever.
Yeah, probably your poor parents, but yeah.
Yeah. Very glad my sister did not have to do the same exam.
Yeah, it was very intense, but in a good way because it gave us a lot of knowledge and.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I'd like to thank you so much for joining us this week on Navigating Turbulent Times with NIPIGON. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, throw us a like down below, and send your questions and comments to @341NIPIGON on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook.